In Dragon Ball Super, there was a time just before the Tournament of Power when Android 17, nobody knew he existed until Goku found him on this island. He was a park ranger. He went through all of the rest of DBZ and the majority of Super going completely undetected. He started a family, protects his own island, and overall ended up winning the tournament. This guy was a hidden gem in the series, but he almost wasn't going to be a part of the Tournament of Power. He didn't want to leave his island. To convince 17 to leave his island and participate in the tournament, Goten and Trunks had to step in and pretty much babysit his island for the time 17 was gone, and that's what happened. This was never shown in the TV series and it was barely even touched on in the manga, but what actually ended up happening was, while Goten and Trunks were back on Earth looking after Android 17's island, a Cell Jr. shows up and punches Trunks right in the face. This was only in a bonus chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga, but what it's showing is that obviously there's still Cell Jr.'s alive. When Gohan decapitated them and pretty much made them explode, he didn't actually wipe them out. Because I guess they have cells, they can regenerate, and one punch isn't enough to take them out for good. Eventually, all these Cell Juniors come out and start fighting Goten and Trunks to where they have to transform into Super Saiyan. They actually handle themselves pretty well, but beyond that, it doesn't get touched on much more. Since then, there has been no additions to what the Cell Juniors did to Goten and Trunks or how they managed to deal with them, because if you remember the Cell Juniors, they were pretty tough. They were even giving Goku a hard time. But today, there's actually a really cool fan adaptation called Dragon Ball Rangers. This is the first part of the story, and it goes into detail about what actually happened when Goten and Trunks were back on Earth while everybody was fighting in the tournament. Before I start this story, full credit to the creator. You can check it out over on Instagram. There's only one chapter so far, but the detail and the similarities to the official manga, it's quite amazing. This story starts out on the island, and Goten and Trunks are pretty bored. Trunks goes on to say, "We've only been on this island for an hour and we have nothing to do." Then Goten goes on to say, "What about those little guys that we confronted before? They seem to be pretty strong, we could ask them to do something." Trunks pretty much says, "Sure, why not?" So pretty much, Goten and Trunks are negotiating with the Cell Juniors to try and train with them to make them stronger. The Cell Juniors don't seem as menacing or as evil as Cell. They're kind of just like wild animals. They all prepare to fight each other, and what the Cell Juniors actually do is they fuse. All three of these Cell Juniors fuse into one, and initially this freaks Goten and Trunks out. They're like, how can we deal with a fusion of these three characters? They see Cell Jr. fusing into what can only be called a Cell Senior. They're thinking the only way to even contest is to fuse themselves. Now, Krillin's daughter Marin is actually there as well. She was dropped off, but you know, she's only very small and definitely not a fighter, but what she has are two Potara earrings. It cuts to a flashback of Goku telling her, only give these Potara earrings to Goten and Trunks in case of an emergency situation. And while this is definitely an emergency, the Cell Junior's power keeps rising. So she throws these earrings to Goten and Trunks and tells them to put them on their ears. Meanwhile, the Cell Jr. is far and above surpassed his dad, looking like the true version of Cell. Goten and Trunks fuse not into Gotenks but with the Potara earrings, this time into Trunk 10. It is now this transformed version of a Cell Jr. versing Goten and Trunks with the Potara earrings fused. And that's where the first chapter ends. An incredible idea for a story. This design of the Potara earring of Goten and Trunks fused, I actually like it better than Gotenks. It looks like they've grown up a little bit, and it's pretty cool. So that is where the story cuts off for now. Chapter 1 of Dragon Ball Rangers ends with the ultimate form of a Cell Jr. staring down face to face with Trunkton. This is an incredible idea for a story. Yet again, Dragon Ball stories are seemingly limitless, and just when you thought Goten and Trunks were never going to be relevant in any story again, Dragon Ball Rangers comes in with the first part of an incredible story. This is only expanding onto that, so let me know what you think. Again, I'll leave the full links to the creator and the story if you want to check it out for yourself. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.